Hello and welcome back to Book Talk. I have our Kids Talk Books Club with us today, and we are going to talk about Honestly, Elliott. Elliott is a sweet, messy child who feels like his life is getting out of control. He's had a few life changes going on in a short period of time, but let's see if he can get his life back on track. All right, so Honestly, Elliott, what are some qualities about Elliott that made him a very interesting character? Okay, y'all have the microphones. Pass them around.
He has ADHD, but he loves to bake, and he feels like when he's in the kitchen, that's the one place where it's good to have 6 things going on and a brain that can do and that can cooperate with it. And he feels like he has a hard time with his schoolwork, and he has 2 guinea pigs.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting because Elliott had ADHD, but when he was in the kitchen, his mind could go in 6 different places, and he could still keep track of things.
He's like, since he has ADHD, like he just like zones off when people are talking, just like, and just like it's just like thinking, kind of like I do.
I like Elliott because he's messy, because I'm not always tidy. He loves to cook, and he's focused when he's in the kitchen.
I like Elliott because he likes cooking, and I really like his guinea pigs.
Okay.
I like that he's like different than everybody else because like not everyone's the same, and he doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
Okay.
I like Honestly Elliott because he's unique in a different type of way, and he does all these cool things.
Okay.
I like Honestly Elliott because even though he has ADHD, he can still concentrate on cooking.
I like Honestly Elliott because he's really emotional, and that really reminds me of myself.
Oh, okay.
I like Elliott because he likes cooking.
He's good because he knows how to cook and keep his mind on just cooking and not zoning off and like burning everything.
I like Honest Elliott because he has ADHD, and when I found out he had ADHD, I was like, that's just a coincidence because I also have ADHD too.
Okay.
And I also like to cook. That's why I chose this book.
Oh, good.
And also, it's a really, really good book.
Good. All right, so we have already established that Elliott likes to cook. Would you say that's his superpower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Elliott, not only does Elliott have ADHD, but he's also dividing his time between his mom and his dad's house. So are they the same types of houses? Are they a little bit different? And go.
No, his mom's house is like a little older and has like a garden, and his dad's house is kind of newer and has a new kitchen and everything.
Okay.
His mom's house is like a little more like run down, and like his dad's house is like super modern and fancy.
Okay.
His mom's house is definitely crowded with plants. Elliott can almost not cook with all the plants. It's also old-fashioned, and his dad's house is bigger, better, and it's huge.
Okay. Are there differences in the way he has to act at his mom's versus his dad's house? Okay. Go ahead.
And another thing I noticed in the book is when I found out that he was getting a baby brother in the book, I was like, but I already have a baby brother. Why does there
really
just-
identified.
It was like a really, really good coincidence, and I really like this book.
Oh, good. What's the question?
At his mom's house, he says it kind of feels more like home because, yeah, it's smaller, but that means it's kind of cozier. And he's allowed to cook whenever he wants at his mom's house, and his mom doesn't care if he makes messes, and it's very crowded with plants. But at his dad's house, he can't cook in the huge kitchen, and dad's girlfriend doesn't like huge messes, and he kind of feels like he doesn't feel like it's home there because he's not allowed to cook, and his dad sometimes gets mad at him for having ADHD and cooking.
Okay.
He probably can't, it's what Ava said, he can't cook in his mom's kitchen because it's but then he can cook in at his dad's house, but it's hard because his dad and Kate are there.
Okay. Katie?
I think that his dad's house, he feels more uncomfortable because he doesn't know how to act, and he has to act more formal, and he doesn't know the house, and it's not what he likes, and it's bigger. But at his mom's house, he knows every inch of it, and he can cook all he wants, and it feels more cozy and homey and
Yeah.
I think that at his dad's house, he thinks that they're letting all his food go to waste and he can't do what he loves there. But at his mom's house, his mom is more natural, and she likes the outside world and food.
Yeah. Who doesn't like food? All right. So at school, we find out at the beginning of the story, Elliott had a huge life change. He had a best friend. And what happened to the best friend, and how did that change Elliott's feelings?
His best friend moved away and he felt really sad. And another thing that made me sad but also made him sad was that he was forbidden at his dad's house to cook. And I was like, why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
You have all this food. Why do you not let your son cook? It just doesn't make sense. So doing that might break his feelings, but at his mom's house, he can cook all he wants and do all that other kind of stuff. And I think that makes him happy at his mom's house, but when he's forbidden to do it at his dad's house, that makes him sad.
Yeah.
And I don't get why when he tried to cook a meal for them that he got yelled at and punished when they came home. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. In the back there?
So when honestly Elliott's friend moved away, he was sad because that was his only friend, and he even one of the friends sent another postcard because he kept sending postcards, and honestly Elliott thought he was coming back for that summer, but he was still on the road trip with his dad.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on. So at school, they have a project coming up, and Elliott had a group of friends. What happened with Elliott and that group of friends? Go, Landon.
So they were supposed to team up in pairs and groups, but his friend group decided not to team up with him because they thought he was weird.
Yeah, okay. Was it because they thought he was weird?
No, it was because they didn't like his idea of baking, so he had to team up with another person and make a pie.
Yeah, okay. So can you take Maribel?
she was gluten free, so when they cooked, they had to make everything gluten free because she wasn't allowed to help if it had gluten in it.
Yeah, how did that go over in the beginning? Lucy?
He got kind of mad because he thought you can't make a crust out of gluten-free flour and stuff like that. So he really just got mad because he just said, "It's your fault that we can't make a great pie," when he really messed up the crust.
Yeah. All right. We are going to keep going. So, from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, a lot of Elliott's relationships changed. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Were there characters at the beginning of the story that you maybe didn't like quite as much as you did at the end of the story? Okay.
I didn't like, at the very, very, very beginning, I liked Elliott's friends, but when it got more into the middle, I thought maybe they weren't the best, but at the end they said they were sorry and things, and I like that.
Okay. Colton?
I think his dad's girlfriend was kind of imposed as a mean person in the beginning, but at the end it was more mutual.
Okay. All right. We're gonna kind of stop there, but I just have one question for you. Did you all like Honestly Elliott?
Yes.
Would you recommend Honestly Elliott to a friend?
Yes.
Great. Well, that concludes our book talk. Again, our next book talk will be in March, and it will be on The Curse on Spectacle Key. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and keep on reading. Bye.